Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to go through Module 16, which covers security strategies. So thanks for joining us, and if you haven't done so, please click the like button and leave a comment. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel so you can see when we post new material. Alright, so Module 16 covers security strategies, so let's dive in to question 1. Alright, on question 1, a technician uses the security tab in the properties dialog box in an attempt to remove the inherited status from a file's permissions but cannot locate where to make the change. Which of the following steps should the technician take to make this change? Alright, so as it has it, the first answer, click the advanced button to open advanced security settings for the file is the correct answer and the way to go. Alright, so the correct answer for number 1 is click the advanced button to open advanced security settings for the file. You'll notice in the file, if you right click on properties, the different tabs that are there. When you see the advanced tab at the top, that's the button that you want to click on, and it'll give you the information about permissions and how you can change them, or the options to change them. The other answers, click the sharing tab and click advanced sharing. That's not going to help find the permissions. Click the administrator username and click the edit button. That's not going to do anything. Click the previous version tab, highlight the file and click restore. That's not going to do it either. So the correct answer once again for 1 is click the advanced button to open advanced security settings for the file. Alright, so next we have question 2. Question 2. A coworker asks your opinion about how to minimize ActiveX attacks while she browses the internet using Internet Explorer. The coworker recalls there is a setting in the Internet Options dialog box to prompt the user before downloading ActiveX controls, but can't remember which tab to use. Which of the following tabs will you suggest to the coworker? And once again, the first choice, the security tab, is the correct answer. So you would use the security tab to find those settings. The general tab would just give you general stuff that wouldn't involve you setting those up. Same with programs tabs and privacy tab. The correct answer for 2 is, in that case, is the security tab. Alright, moving on to question 3. A technician is configuring the Windows computer on a network to print to a printer that is directly connected to the network via the UTP cable. What term best describes this method of printer connectivity? Alright, so in this case, the first option, shared printer, that's not correct. You can share a printer. It doesn't have to be hooked up to a Cat5, Cat6, or any type of unshielded twisted pair cable. It can be hooked up. You can share a printer, as a serial cable, but just by sharing with that computer on the network. So that's not correct. A network printer, if it's connected, this is the correct answer, because if the network printer is connected straight to the internet, or to the network, it has its own IP. It can be shared without a computer being hooked up to a computer, right? Because it'll have its own IP, and you can reach it on that network if you have the correct permissions, right? So administrative share is incorrect, and network drive mapping has nothing to do with the printer. That would be for a hard drive or a partition of a hard drive, where you make it look like it's actually on the computer that mapped it. All right. So the correct answer for number 3, once again, is network printer. On to number 4. Alright, you need to secure your Windows 7 computer in a way that prevents access to the entire HDD or hard disk drive, even if the drive is moved to another system. Which solution will you implement? So the first answer is BitLocker to go. That is incorrect. You can do that, but that's more for laptops and removable hard drives, or also for USB detached hard drives or whatnot. or storage devices. BitLocker is, however, the correct answer. You use BitLocker, and then you can secure that hard drive. And if it's moved to another system, it is meant to be moved, but also secure. And if you have the right credentials, you can unlock it on another computer. All right, VPN using IP security is not. That's a whole different thing. That's more of tunneling. That has nothing to do with hard drive technology. Encrypting file systems. BitLocker will encrypt it anyway, but that's not the correct answer at all. All right. So once again, the correct answer for question 4 is BitLocker. Moving on to question number 5. Which of the following is a hardware component used to build the BitLocker encryption key and ensures encryption data is not accessed in the event of a hard drive is stolen or lost? So once again, the first answer, TPM for Trusted Platform Module, is the correct answer. MFA, EFS, and NIC are not really anything dealing with hard drives, right? So your EFS is a file system. NIC, Network Interface Card. That's mostly for network. And so the correct answer for, once again, for question 5 is TPM, Trusted Platform Module. All right, on to number 6. Several computers in your organization are being used from within the building after hours when the company is closed. Your manager has asked you to configure the computers to limit access to business hours. Which of the following steps can be taken to limit access to the computers? So the first option has set the BIOS to automatically power off the computers at closing time. Sadly, there's no such option in BIOS or UEFI, so that's incorrect. Change the user account passwords. What would that actually do? They're logged in, and if your business hours are closed at 5 p.m. and they're already logged in, they're already and if they change their password, they won't be able to log in during business hours. So that's not correct either. So the third possible answer is correct. You can configure login or log on time restrictions. So you can only allow logins between certain hours, and then 4 business hours. That way, if someone tries to log in after that, then they won't be able to log in. All right. And then the fourth possible answer: disable Microsoft account resources. That is not correct. That's not going to help with the time login restrictions. All right. So once again, the correct answer for number 6 is configure log on time restrictions. All right, let's go on down to number 7. You recently created several new user accounts in the Sales OU and configured them with the appropriate group memberships, logon scripts, and printer access. Except for one new sales employee, all employees are actively using the account. The remaining employee will be using the account within the next 2 weeks. What is the best practice for the remaining unused account? So the first option is delete the account and recreate it when the employee is ready to use it. That's one way to do it, but that's not the easiest way. There is an easier way, and the easier way, the most productive, is going to be the second option. Disable the account until the employee is ready to use it. So by disabling it, you won't have to go in and reset it and have everything redone if you delete it. So if you disable it, whenever you want to enable it, when the employee is ready to start or log in, then you can have that account just by one click, having it ready to go. All right. The other options: leave the account active since it will be unused for only 2 weeks. Leaving anything active that's not used is not in the headspace of security. For security reasons, you want to delete and disable or anything that is not currently used, as long as it's not destroying or damaging the reliability of that device. So the last one: remove the account membership to all groups. Same thing, you'll have to recreate it. It'll cost more work for yourself. And just by the correct answer for number 7, disable the account until the employee is ready to use it, would be best way to go. All right, so now to number 8. Which of the following security policies can be implemented to prevent removable media from automatically launching potentially harmful programs? So, the first option, disable auto run, that is incorrect. The correct answer would be disable auto play. All right, so that's the correct wording is auto play. So if you want what you want, you don't want stuff that's executable to be able to start without you initializing it. That's very dangerous because if you have an attachment and it's set to auto play, then you don't have to initiate it. It'll automatically initiate once you open up that file or that message or that folder, and that is always dangerous because it's doing it without you giving it permission. So the correct answer for number 8 is disable auto play. All right, and then the other two answers: enable screen lock. That's not going to help anything, and disable the guest account. You can be logged on any account and still have malicious software on your computer or activate on your computer. All right, so the correct answer once again is disable auto play. All right, on to number 9. Which performing disks and file maintenance on the company file, let's start that over. While performing disk and file maintenance on the computer file server, you determine a user in the accounting department has been accidentally saving documents to all shared folders on the file server. The user's computer was recently passed to her from another user in the company, and according to the company policy, the user should have access only to the accounting share. Which of the following best describes this situation? All right, so the first option, the firewall on a server is disabled. That has nothing to do with this. That's a total different scenario. The next one, the firewall on a user's computer is disabled. Same thing. The firewall settings has nothing to do with where the user decided to share or to store these files. All right. So the correct answer is the third option. The principle of least privileges was not followed. So the principle of least privileges basically says that doesn't matter your clearance level or your classification level, you only need to have access to what you need to do your job. Doesn't matter if you're ahead of the CEO of the company, if you don't need to be doing into backup software or stuff like that, or research and development on the ground, you don't need access. They don't get that access. So you need to file. Only thing you need access to is what exactly you need to do your job. So since she was in accounting, she should have only had access to the accounting share. Now, when it comes to the IT personnel, desktop, whether it's tier 1, tier 2 support, you'll have more access than most people in the company because you'll be working on those servers or on those computers. So to deny you access, or at least not be able to get granted access to do the maintenance, you won't be able to do your job. So, but still, you wouldn't have access to accounting records, certain folders that's within those servers, because, like I said, for pay information, company secrets, things like that, you would have to request specifically to get access to those files. So usually backup teams, storage teams, they're doing that all the time because they have to back up those files as well. All right. So the correct answer, once again, for question 9 is the principle of least privileges was not followed. Finally, on to number 10. Let's see. Your computer has a single HDD or hard disk drive formatted with NTFS with the following data errors. Your C documents, C pictures. You create a new child folder under the C documents folder that what term describes the permissions the new folder automatically attains from the C documents folder. All right, so allow permissions, that is incorrect. Deny permissions, that is incorrect. So all you did was create a folder within a folder, and the correct answer would be inherited permissions. So basically, once you create a folder inside of a folder, whatever that folder that you created in, whatever those permissions were, whatever those rules were, they're going to automatically be inherited into the permissions of the folder that you create. So if it has restrictions on it, then the folder you create within that folder will have the same restrictions. Now you can change the permissions once you have that folder created. If you want, want to change anything in it. But you have to do that. But by default, it's going to go to whatever the folder that you stored it in, those same permissions. All right. So explicit permissions, that's also incorrect. The correct answer for number 10 is inherited permissions. All right. So that is all for Module 16, Security Strategies. Thank you for joining us. And like I said, if you enjoyed the video or found any use out of it, please click the like button and leave us a comment. And if you have not subscribed or have not set up your YouTube account, please do so and subscribe so you can see when we post new material. All right. So thanks again for joining us for Module 16. We'll be coming soon with Module 17. So take care and have a wonderful day.